Hello, everyone, and welcome to Stories from an Ugly Childhood. I am your host, the Crap Artist. Today, before we begin, I would like to take a moment to say sorry, not sorry, for the amount of time between my video entries. The reason for this absurd amount of time is because it is incredibly hard and incredibly emotionally taxing to want to purposely fester, that's a good word, fester, on the crappier aspects of my childhood and my horrible, horrible, shitty mother. So, yeah, I need long pauses. Because, there's a lot of days where I can't fucking help it. Where it just pops into my head. I have moments where I wake up in the morning and I'm angry as fuck at some bullshit my mom did 25 years ago, 30 years ago. And it stays with me all fucking day and ruins just about fucking everything. But that hasn't happened in about a week or two. And yeah, so I've been taking advantage of my fairly decent mood and getting stuff done and enjoying my life. As a matter of fact, speaking of enjoying my life, the last week of May was my 25th wedding anniversary, so my husband took the entire week off and we went to thrift stores and relaxed and did stuff around the house and finished off various projects. I now have a fully functional bunk bed in my bedroom. I have a bunk bed because I have cats, so don't make fun of me. It's awesome. You don't know nothing. Anyway, so entry 7. Entry 7 is about my education. Yes. So it is a fact that I am a product of the New Jersey special education system, both public and private. It was found out very incredibly early that I am learning disabled. Around about second grade is when it was discovered that I was a little bit slower and a little bit different than other kids. And after some brain scans and testing and so on, it was discovered that I have agenesis of the corpus callosum. I probably mispronounced it, and I really don't care. But what it is a brain or a birth defect where the connective tissue between the two hemispheres of the brains does not connect. So anyway, yep, special education. I can remember the day that I was tested for placement. I was in second grade. It was like the second month of second grade. And they put me, I was in Catholic school, and they put me in public school because I was having trouble in the Catholic school, just, making friends and interacting generally. And I was very much behind, So, into public school I went, and then they realized that I was slow, so had to do the testing. And on the day of the testing, my mom was very, very angry with me, and I had just come home from visiting with my father, and he had already started to interfere with me, for lack of a better way to put it. I'm not trying to, trigger anybody yet, but he had already started to interfere with me, and I had a lot of stuff on my mind, and I was very distressed, and I had to go do this stupid test. And my mom's screaming at me and telling me I better do good. This is my whole future. Blah blah blah. I think she was like 20 years old or something at the time. Maybe 22. And yeah. So I failed. I failed miserably. Failed so bad. It was kind of really, really sad. And so had to go back to a different Catholic school, and my mom made me feel bad about that because it was incredibly expensive, and I was very different, and I'm slow, and she started calling me Brainless Wonder. Actually, I think she was calling me that in kindergarten. But yeah, the making fun of me for not being able to do stuff really ramped up after that. And, telling me I couldn't have this, couldn't do that, because I wasn't smart enough, and was never going to be able to pass this or do that. And that was my early childhood. And I remember in fourth grade, she pulled me back out of Catholic school because she claimed it was making me socially retarded. What was making me socially retarded was the fact that I was being abused by both of my parents, and being bullied by neighborhood children. That's what was making me socially retarded. The Catholic school was teaching me values like um, being able to share and being kind to people regardless of how they look or if they have disabilities. That's what the Catholic school was teaching me. It wasn't making me socially retarded. It was turning me into a decent human being. To a point. They had their flaws too, and we'll get to that at some other time. Um, but yeah, back to public school, and the bullies were worse, and then sexual harassment started from the kids in the public school, and my grades were always really, really, really bad. So this is long. My education. Really, I'm just really fucking angry that when I was in high school, everything I wanted to be, every every interest I had was, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, you're dyslexic, you're not going to be able to do it, you're not going to be able to take the SATs, you won't pass, you won't, it's too much for you. And my mom was never, ever involved in any aspect of my education. She paid for Catholic school. She never, ever went to parent-teacher anythings. She grudgingly did the Catholic school's bingo and bake sales and was angry about having to take part in that to offset the tuition. But she never took, she never paid attention to anything about my education. She just always told me what I couldn't do. And one thing sticks out really far. When I applied for Job Corps and went for the interview, my mom had to take me. And all the way there, she screamed at me about my appearance and how bad I looked, and sit up straight and hike up my bra, and why can't I, take a minute to look in the mirror and do my hair. All the way there, all the way the fuck to Camden, New Jersey. Just yammering at me. Just telling me how much I am a disappointment. And at the Job Corps place, when I was telling the secretary what I was interested in, culinary arts came up. And at the time, I was about 220 pounds and 16 years old. Yes, it's quite a difference. that's another story. But at the time, I was really rather obese, and so is my mother. But she says to me and the secretary, "You can't have culinary arts. You're too fat. All you're gonna do is gain weight and eat, and that's not gonna be good for you. I don't want that for you." And the secretary looks at my mom and looks at me, and I just hang my head and I say, "Well, then I don't want to do this." I and my mom screams at me about why don't I do cosmetology? It would do good for me. It would do me good to take pride in my appearance. And we went back to the shelter. Oh, at the time I was living at a teen shelter because I ran away and her boyfriend did not want me back in the house, so I had no other choice. Because my mom didn't want me in foster care because that would look bad on her. But she didn't or couldn't leave, because comfort is more important to her. Comfort and image is more important to her. And, yeah, in the end, after I graduated high school, by the skin of my teeth, she forced me into cosmetology school. And she told me that if I did not do this, she would take away my car, which was bought with my money, but she was paying the car insurance. And I would not be allowed to interact with my family. So I went to cosmetology school. And even when I finally got out of New Jersey, after I was in the shelter, I moved in with a friend of mine for a little while, and then my mom convinced me that it was okay to move back into her house, and that wasn't going to be a giant piece of shit, which was a lie. But, when I was 19, I finally got out of New Jersey permanently. And even then, she still pushed me into going to the class every day. And when I told her that I failed and I didn't want to do it anymore, she told me never to speak to her again, never to call anybody that I was related to. I wasn't allowed to talk to the uncles. I wasn't allowed to talk to my aunt, just disowned, no family, for about 3 months until she enrolled me again and forced me again to do the nail class. And I have my cosmetology license. I have my cosmetology license. And my cosmetology license right now is still active, even though I only worked in the field for cumulatively 8 months. My mom is the only person that uses my cosmetology license. She is the one that renews it every time the expiration date comes up. I don't even know how much it costs. I don't even know how often you have to renew it. But she is the one that does it, and she is the one that holds it, and I have no access to it. And I'm pretty sure that that's illegal. And I'm not really sure why she continues to renew it. Because she is a nurse practitioner, and they make a hell of a lot more money than some stupid fucking hairdresser. Maybe she thinks one day I'll come to her and say, "Hey mom, I wanna go do some hair." That'll never happen. Even as an adult in my 30s, when my mom was trying to be nice to me again, after my Aunt Lou passed away, she offered to pay for education if I wanted to go back to school. And I said, actually, yeah, I would like to be an art therapist for, you know, troubled teens with traumatic histories. And she told me that she would not pay for it, that it was stupid, that the field is oversaturated, and I would never ever find work. That was around about 2014. And it seems like that would have been the perfect career opportunity for the 2020s, because there are so many traumatized people and so many hurt people and so many people that can't fucking express themselves. And art therapy is something that saved my fucking life and helped me to express myself and helped me to open up. But yeah, at the time, my mom said, no, it's stupid and the market's too oversaturated. You'll never find work. Everything that I want and everything that I love and care about and think is worthwhile is completely pointless to my mother, because all she fucking cares about is appearance and affluence and title, and that's basically it. She's not in control of me anymore. But I am far too broke and not loan worthy. So I am still not formally educated. And I'm okay with that. Yes, I am. Because you don't need a piece of paper to, have experiences. Alright, this one was really, really long. I'm gonna go now. Bye.